Yes guys, welcome down to Carter's Golf. Welcome to the glorious 18th hole here at Jumeirah Golf Estates. We're on the Earth course, the home of the DP World Tour Championship, and what a worse place to duff an iron shot. Today's video is going to give you 3 amazing drills for you to take onto the driving range to stop you from duffing those shots. Either catching the top of the ball, the middle of the ball, or even worse, I think, ground before the ball. This particular shot, 160 yards away, actually hitting into wind. All I can see between me and the flag is that creek. The creek goes all the way up to the front edge of the green. So this is the last place on this golf course that I want to be duffing an iron shot. So I'm going to give you 3 amazing drills to do that. All right, so drill number 1 is all about stability. Okay, so when you're hitting an iron shot, the last thing we want to be doing is kind of moving from side to side, or we don't want to be overbalancing. Particularly don't want to be overbalancing onto the right foot or the back leg of a golf swing, especially for me. For now, if I start to swing up to the top of the backswing as a right-handed golfer, if my body weight kind of slides across onto this right foot or even onto the outside of the right foot, it's going to be very, very difficult to get back to the ball on my left side onto my lead foot at impact. Got to really make sure that the lower body stability only works with rotation and not any lateral movement. So one of my favorite drills, and I do this a lot with the students down here at the Golf Academy, is we start working on a feet together drill. Okay, so the purpose of this drill, feet together, is to encourage the lower body and upper body to be rotating during the swing. What I see far too often is a golfer standing with the nice wide stance, which is what we want to do, but start the backswing like this, that right hip pushing back away from the target. If I get here now, I've basically moved my swing center, I've moved my swing arc from the center of my stance here, and by pushing my weight across to my right foot, I've effectively moved my arc and the bottom of my swing back behind the golf ball. So unless I'm really agile and really able to get forwards again and hit my shot, which, to be fair, if you do it often enough, you will be able to kind of figure out a way of getting back, but you won't be able to get back on a consistent basis. It won't be every single time, and that's what we want to try and do. Every golfer wants to strive for consistency, and consistency is repeating. And we don't want to be repeating heavy shots, and we don't want to be doing a golf swing that only works maybe 25% of the time. Okay, so how we're going to go ahead and set this drill up, we're going to put the feet together, going to keep the ball position as close as we can in between the 2 big toes, and we're going to try and make a nice golf swing, just get a feel for the rotation, allow the back hip, for me the right hip, to go more behind the body and allow the shoulders to rotate. One of the things I want to try and still make sure I do is still get my height into the backswing. I don't want to use my hips and my shoulders together and keep my arms basically attached to my chest. I don't want to go too flat around the body as well. So I'm going to still make sure I maintain the height of my chest, and I'm going to make sure that I've got the lower body rotating with my upper body. Oh wow. And I'm just going to hit a really high draw into the flag. That was quite nice. But what you would have noticed, I still got the downward angle of attack, and I actually still managed to hold my balance. Only just, mind, but I've managed to hold a balance, and that's a key one, because golfers, again, that kind of move a lot from lateral, from right to left or left to right, depending on what handed golf you play. In my case, if a golfer moves too much from the right side across the left side, invariably then starts to lose balance during the through swing. Therefore, it is massively important that we've got stability in the lower body throughout the whole golf swing. You've got full control of how the lower body is going to be rotating. Really good drill for this, again, is with no ball. Just really get a feel that lower body turns, that back hip kind of rotates more behind the body, but as the body weight stays in the center. It's a really good way of kind of feeling that stability. And then over a golf ball, give that a try, feet together, to start trying and making sure that the pressure in your feet is across onto that front foot as you finish your shot. All right, tip number 2 is one of my favorites, and again, this is one I use on a regular basis with the people I teach: the good old towel drill. Now, there's quite a few different towel drills, but this one is all about connectivity, keeping the arms connected to the body as we swing. Now, I don't kind of mean too much like this. We're still going to try and get the feeling that we're going to go up to around about here. Now, this is actually a fantastic drill for golfers that are trying to improve the pitching. But also, you could kind of hold on to a 7-iron here and just get a feel for that kind of that half swing. How are you going to initiate that half swing there? You've got the lower body rotating with the upper body still. Now, I'm obviously not going to swing all the way to the top because obviously it will fall out, but we're just going to do some little half swings. You're going to make sure you still got the wrist hinge activated into the swing as the shoulders rotate, the left forearm there working, or the lead forearm I should say, working down the line of the target, the shaft of the club here looking down the line of the target at the takeaway, and then we're just going to go a little bit further than that and we're going to hit into the ball. Again, you could even put your feet together as you're practicing this. If you wanted to try and do the two drills together, I wouldn't have any objection against doing either, to be perfectly honest. So we're going to make sure clubbing behind the ball. I'm going to go narrow stance. I'm not going to go full width, but I'm not going to go feet together. I'm just going to get a feel for the lower body, upper body rotating. I'm going to get a feel for my hands still hinging, and that way I can feel the arms moving upwards as the body starts to rotate as well. I'm going to go to the side of the creek on this one because there's no way I'm going to be getting enough distance to get over that creek. So I'm going to take my setup, tucked into the towel, rotate, got the ball, got my hands ahead of the ball at impact, got my weight across onto my left side. I got a really nice downward angle of attack into the ball. We've got ball then turf, absolutely beautiful strike, and just a little half follow through to kind of match that half backswing as well. So what we're kind of doing there is really getting the feel for connectivity in the swing, rotation in the swing, and a lot of where the body weight, where the pressure is going to be going through impact as well. So give that drill a try as well. You can even, like I say, match it up to drill number 1, put them two together, really start to get a feel for your ball striking and how we can keep improving. But coming on to drill number 3, this is definitely going to be the hardest one. Why is this the hard one, you ask? Well, because it requires a lot of movement, okay? We're going to really start to feel the body start working, rotating, hips rotating. Big thing we've talked about in the first 2 drills. Drill number 1, figuring out the stability of the lower body and where the body weight is going to be. Drill number 2, making sure we get that connectivity and that nice relationship between the shoulders, chest and hips as we start to do the backswing. And drill number 3 is going to be starting to spiral away up to the top of the backswing and getting that feeling of the arms working upwards now. So we're rotating up as we go to the top of the backswing. So as I start to do that, I'm going to step away, I'm going to get that rotation, and then I'm going to work straight back down in towards the ball. So I'm going to get the feeling of the rotation, the coil away from the backswing. I'm going to get the feeling of my arms working upwards so it can increase my downward angle of attack into the ball. And as I step into the ball, I'm going to start to feel where the body weight's moving through and how I can compress the ball. So again, we're putting all 3 drills together. Very, very difficult one for the timing, but it's a great way of really feeling the upper body rotate nice and high while still being connected. So if you feel like this is a disconnected and a kind of a different style of drill to drill number 2, it's actually not, because drill number 2 gets you to here. Drill number 3 maintains and gets that height and rotation, and it puts it together with drill number 2. So we keep the connectivity for the first half of the backswing and we get some height to encourage a really nice swing path and downward angle of attack. So probably the hardest one to demonstrate as well. And I've had no practice for a while, but definitely get a feel, turn up, top of the backswing, I've got my lower body turn, I've got my upper body rotated, I've got the high swing, and we're going to work back all the way through. Let's see if we can strike this first time. This is definitely the hardest one of the 3 and may take a few more attempts, but I'm going to give it one a go. There. All right. Not bad effort at all. Now, one thing I would say is aim, because I've missed the green and I've actually missed the golf course and found a villa. Not ideal. Thankfully no one's in, I hope. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that tip. Really useful 3 drills for you to kind of be working with as you're starting to swing and starting to learn to how to improve your ball striking, how to improve your iron striking. If at the moment you struggle with fats or thins, this is definitely a drill, 3 different types of drills that you can work. We're kind of working from the ground up, so working with the legs first, working with the chest and the shoulders, and then working with the height at the top of the backswing with your arms, kind of putting the 3 things together to get a nice angle of attack, rotation, penetration into the ball flight with a good trajectory, and just really working on that striking. Any questions about this tip, please do drop them in the comments below. Happy to answer absolutely everything. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, follow me on my social media platforms, and I'll see you again very soon.